GF2 War Room, sponsored by ExpandTheBoxScore.com. Advanced, adaptable, and affordable premium stats for all sports, including college football. Use my promo code GF210 to save 10% at ExpandTheBoxScore.com. Hashtag WeGotStats. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Ryan Searfoss, and tonight we're going to look at Mr. Cam Akers, running back from Florida State, 5'11", 212 pounds. Career numbers are 573 for 2,783 yards and then 27 touchdowns, and he's got some receptions too. 68 receptions, 467 yards, and 6 touchdowns. All right, Ryan, let's talk about this guy. I know you love him. Let's give me a strengths and weaknesses.
Strengths and weaknesses.
So Cam Akers is one of my probably favorite backs for a while, mainly because I'm a little bit of a homer on it, but. He has incredibly unique skill set. Has fantastic speed and burst coming through the line of scrimmage. His acceleration is top notch. He runs hard and he breaks a lot of tackles. And he's one of the better pass receiving backs coming out. So he's had over 20 receptions all 3 seasons at Florida State. He's able to do a little bit with them. He has 7 receiving touchdowns to go with it. He's a guy who's produced when given the chance. He has all the makeup and build for a every down, 3-down runner, and he has all the skill set to make it up. There's a few questions that we're going to bring up, but he has a lot of questions because of his situation he was in.
All right, good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and look at his weaknesses here. What is his weaknesses right now?
The biggest weakness, it looks like it's his vision. The hard part is he had an offensive line that ranked in the bottom 100 of college football the last 2 seasons. So he was getting blown up behind the line of scrimmage, and the holes weren't there. So it makes it very hard to decipher whether he was actually finding the holes or making the right play because it was just such a terrible situation. And I don't know if that's something that could make him gun shy at the next level where he may not be patient enough to find the holes.
Right.
Also with that, it kind of raises question marks on what scheme he's going to be best fit at because we don't know where he's worked the best. I like him more in a power running game from what he saw in the more pro formations when Jimbo Fisher was there, but he struggled a little bit last 2 years because of what he was behind. And then his pass blocking was kind of in shambles, and the quarterback was getting killed no matter what at Florida State, and I think that's kind of a hole in his game too that may not be there.
All right, you definitely got to have pass pro at the pro level. You get your quarterback killed, you might be benched. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's something. I mean, he could play through. He was getting a lot of guys coming in at full speed,
right,
which made it rough. So
yeah,
it's one of those wait and see type things.
Right. I got you. All right.
Who, where, and when.
All right. Tell me, who is your comp for Cam Akers?
My comp for Cam Akers is Clinton Portis. Coming out, he was an explosive runner who made big plays whenever he got the chance. He could break the big run, and he kind of evolved where he was able to run with a little bit more power, go between the tackles when need be. Akers isn't afraid to push forward and just take what's there, but he also can break the big play, similar to what we saw Portis, who's a smart runner, and he's able to add a lot to the pass game, which is huge at the NFL level, and that's something that made Clinton Portis really special when there weren't a ton of backs in his time who were catching passes.
That's true. Yeah, good point. All right, and where would you want to see him drafted if you could put him anywhere? Where do you want him to be?
I like seeing him in Atlanta. I think he'd be a nice replacement in the twilight of what we're seeing. Devonta Freeman, he's going to go in that 2nd, 3rd round range, and in a good offense, he'll have the opportunity to really shine and show what he was able to do as a runner. And he's so explosive with what they have, and they get a running back who can do everything. He could be truly dangerous because Atlanta tried to basically turn Devonta Freeman and either Tevin Coleman or whoever was in there, Brian Hill, into a complete back. Cam Akers can do that, and bring all the same things all those guys did together. I think he'd be an exciting fit.
All right, good stuff. And when are we drafting him in our Dynasty drafts?
I'd take him mid-first round. Some people may be a little bit later on him. I think the skill set is too tantalizing. I think he has so much potential where he could be an every down runner and huge fantasy value. So I'll take the chance around that 6 to 8 range on him. Could find him a little bit later in the first round, but I wouldn't wait much longer.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff.
The bottom line.
All right, Ryan, give me the bottom line on Cam Akers.
Like I said, fantastic athlete. I mean, if you look back even in his high school days, he was a quarterback in high school. He threw for 3,100 yards and had 31 passing touchdowns, and also ran for another 2,100 yards with 34 rushing touchdowns. So this dude had 65 touchdowns as a senior in high school.
That
in
is
one
crazy.
season. It's absurd. I know we kind of got off track with that, but I've never seen anything like it. He has speed, power, receiving ability. He has everything you want out of an every down back. He was just in the most putrid situation I've ever seen. He averaged 5 yards a carry behind one of the worst lines in college football, which is an impressive feat itself.
Wow.
I think he's somebody who's going to move up draft boards the closer we get. I think he's going to be a combine warrior. I think he's going to be a first-round pick in fantasy who you can feel pretty safe with. And being he's doesn't have such a big name as some of the other guys, he might end up in a really good situation that brings him up the boards.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Cam Akers, a mid-first round pick. So go out and do some research on your guy here with this offensive line. Hopefully he does land in Atlanta. That would be a great spot for him, I think. So